Some stupid villain from Apokolips called Mantis is attacking the city. Superman and Captain Atom fly in to take him down while commenting amongst themselves about how chatty he has been. Mantis freezes Captain Atom in an ice ball, and Superman has to fly down and save him and the people under him. Mantis uses this opportunity to strike Superman while he is distracted. It doesn't work for long as Captain Atom unfreezes and beats him up alongside Superman. They defeat him and throw him back to Apokolips using a boom tube. Lois Lane jumps in to entice Superman after the fight, and he whisks her away for a date. Captain Atom, on the other hand, flies off, but before he can get far, a general calls him out and tells him he is recommissioned back to the Air Force, and gives him the hard decision to choose between his military position or the Justice League. Lois Lane and Superman have a cute picnic together, and Lois brings up the people's trust, and how some people are losing confidence in the Justice League when they are busy throwing around muscle. She compares Superman's defense to Lex Luthor, and he gets agitated, but she explains how she knows he is not Lex Luthor, but the people deserve to trust him as well. Meanwhile, Question, who is slowly becoming my favorite character in this show, is out gathering info on the link between Cadmus and Lex Luthor with his new girlfriend, the Huntress, by his side and kicking some ass. Lex Luthor is having his physical with the doctor, expressing how he has no traces of cancer and he doesn't need the vest anymore. Luthor doesn't have enough time to be shocked about this revelation before Amanda Waller enters the scene and tells them both about Question and Huntress copying important files from Project Cadmus. Question, on the other hand, opens the files and uncovers what he describes as an Armageddon plot, with Flash being killed and Superman killing Lex Luthor as retaliation, which sparks a superhuman war that ends the world. He keeps saying it is a time loop, and he has to break it if it is even possible. Huntress enters his apartment since he has been inactive for days and gets concerned about his tired look. He leaves Huntress in the apartment, and she takes a look at the files to see a video, presumably from the future or from the previous time loop as Question suggested, where President Lex Luthor taunts Superman for always acting like a hero until it was too late, as Lex will repeat the cycle over and over again until he fully wins. Superman realizes there's only one way to stop it, and he presumably kills Lex Luthor. Question has a private meeting with Superman and confronts him about his knowledge of the other Superman that is like him very much and killed a president of the United States. He talks about how only the original members of the Justice League know about the Justice Lord's Earth, starting with this Superman killing, and how Batman knows about the Amanda Waller simulations. Superman assures him they are not like the Justice Lords and will not fight the government, but Question retorts that he would if the government was Lex Luthor. Superman appears to be concerned for Question and how mixed up the timelines, stating he is going to assure this never happens here. But Question is unimpressed and leaves. Question goes to Lex Luthor and surprises him in his office. He talks about constants in universes and how Luthor will always be Luthor, so he is going to kill him before he becomes a president to stop Armageddon and spare Superman's legacy. Luthor can't help but laugh, seeing Question actually thinks he wants to be a president. Luthor slaps Question around with his newfound strength while berating him and stating how becoming a president is like giving up so much power. Luthor only did the fake presidential campaign to tick Superman off. Question is then taken to a secret facility where he is seen horribly tortured in an attempt to get the information he learned from the files out of him for good. Huntress manages to get Superman's attention and tells him about Question being missing for a week after he saw the tapes of Superman killing. They track his signal down and find his communication link in the garbage. Huntress panics, and Superman reassures her, but wants to operate within the limits of law and not infiltrate Cadmus locations without sufficient evidence. Huntress is not impressed because this is why she quit the Justice League. Superman reminds her she was fired and tells her she has a point and he will help her off the books. They infiltrate the Cadmus location where Question is being held and tortured, but Superman finds Dr. Hamilton and confronts him about joining Cadmus first, with Hamilton expressing how afraid he was of Superman. Superman and Huntress save Question and beat the shit out of the guy who was torturing him. They try to escape the facility with Question, and Captain Atom surprises them with his presence. Superman thinks he is still in the League, but Captain Atom now answers to the military, and his orders are to prevent Superman from taking Question out of the facility. Superman tells Captain Atom to step aside, and he receives a sucker punch for that. He tells Huntress to take Question out of the facility and asks for transportation from Martian Manhunter as he takes care of Captain Atom. The captain proves to be strong with his red sun radiation, but we're talking about Superman here. I mean, come on. He easily defeats him after Captain Atom uses all of his energy. Some Cadmus goons try to fix him up, but Superman tells them off because he is still Justice League, and then carries him to the space station to get treated. Back on the space station, Huntress is sitting by Question, who is recovering from the torture. She removes his faceless mask at his request and flirts with him. Supergirl sees what is happening and talks to her cousin Superman, who tells her about everything. Superman talks to Question about how he was captured and learns about how Question planned to kill Luthor so he wouldn't in the future. Superman reassures Question that this is not how they do things and he can stop Luthor without killing him. Superman argues with Martian Manhunter about going after Cadmus when they know they are dirty, but Martian wants there to be more concrete evidence so they can have the excuse. Supergirl reminds them what they did to her, and Green Arrow chimes in saying he is conflicted on whether the government should or should not have superhumans to protect the world from Justice League. Meanwhile, Amanda Waller calls Lex Luthor to warn him about the Justice League retaliating, but he seems pretty confident in his plan, and we see he hacked into the space station and is planning something to do with its weapon system. Suddenly, as Superman and the other heroes argue, the systems of the space station blare, and the binary fusion system is readying up with the League, not able to bypass the system. Superman tries his best to do it manually from space and destroy the weapon, but to no avail as it hits the Earth anyway, specifically Cadmus headquarters, partially destroying a full city and injuring many. The President of the United States calls Martian to get an explanation from him. Martian tries to explain, this is not the League's fault, but the President is having none of it since he warned Martian about this weaponized space station floating above Earth. He mentions how the League saved the world more times than he can count, so he will give them some slack with an investigation, but if they are guilty, then they will be punished. We see a bunch of people flying javelins out of the space station, as it is still under maintenance and lacking power. It looks like they are stealing it, but we don't know who exactly are these people, for now. We then see Amanda Waller recalling the President trying to convince him to put his trust in Cadmus after the attack, because the Justice League is out for blood. The Justice League help the people of the destroyed city and carry them to shelters, until one annoying goofball who thinks the League is destroying cities and then helping them. People start gathering and realizing it was the League's weapon that did this, not an industrial accident, and they start losing trust and moving away from the Justice League. Meanwhile, Amanda Waller is tired of waiting, and she goes to Galatea, the Supergirl clone, who is looking healthier and sporting a new fit. She gives her the mission to take down the Justice League with the help of a dozen Ultraman clones. These episodes have been a treat because Question is by far my favorite character in this show right now. He is every part fun, crazy, and actually badass. And his relationship with Huntress is cute because they complement each other's craziness. Only thing I have to say is that I wish Amanda Waller would just get what's coming for her. Luthor will always be Luthor, and he will get what's coming for him. This brings us to the end of today's video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel to get more videos like this one. Your support helps us grow. And tell me, what do you think of these two episodes? Do you want to see Question more? Where do you think Batman is? Let me know in the comments below. I read all of them. And if you're watching till now, thank you. I'll see you in another video soon.